The stand down order has been given. I reported the other day that my comic industry contacts have been mentioning that there was a order not to talk about the Neil Gaiman situation whatsoever. And we have covered it here on the channel. It got worse last week when more details emerged based on the Tortoise podcast, where there were 14 women apparently involved in this, according to what was said. There's been no comments from Neil Gaiman nor Amanda Palmer. Neil Gaiman, of course, left Twitter back when Elon Musk made it a dangerous place. But he is on Blue Sky, and he has not posted at all since this Tortoise podcast came out. He just went completely dark. So there is obviously a concerted effort to squash this story, and now it's moved to Reddit. Reddit is now banning discussions of the situation, which makes this get more fishy. We'll cover this in just a moment. My name is John Delarose, everybody. I am a #1 best-selling science fiction author, and if you like good books without degeneracy, you should check out The Stars Entwined and its trilogy. We've got an awesome space opera right here. If you love good books, this is going to be definitely something for you. It's available on ebook, print, and audio, and I would love for you to check this out. I'll have this in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we report the stories in science fiction, fantasy, comics, video games that nobody else will. We're blacklisted from the industry because of it, but this is something interesting, and we're going to tell the truth no matter how much threats we get, no matter how much it hurts us. The truth is what's important, of course. And so we talked about the situation. If you are new to what's going on because it's been so suppressed, again, the comic media has refused to cover this. Bleeding Cool said nothing. Comics Beat said nothing. CBR, nothing. Just complete silence, and it's coordinated. I am told it's very much intentional. Neil Gaiman was accused of sexual assault by 2 women, which came out on the Tortoise podcast, a British podcast that actually does deep dives into this stuff. I had to comb through 3.5 hours of a podcast about all this with gruesome detail, which I reported here, and it gets really dirty and nasty in a way that I was uncomfortable reading it for sure. And this is on my Fandom Pulse website if you guys want to check that out. Also in the description below. So this got posted to Reddit, and one of the women involved was his nanny/babysitter. Amanda Palmer allegedly hired her, told her to go watch the kid. She went over to Neil Gaiman's house, who then was asked if she would like to go take a bath within hours of meeting her. Very weird. He was 62, and she was 21 at the time. So it's like a granddaughter situation. Very creepy. And I don't know anybody who asks, who's like, hi there, would you like to go take a bath? I mean, what the? Oh, well. Now, when this woman reported how it got uncomfortable and things like that, and she was gaslit, she reportedly told Amanda Palmer the situation, and Amanda Palmer said there were 13 other women with other similar stories. So this could blow up very significantly. Now, this person's remaining anonymous. She's not out there trying to get attention out of this or anything like that. Allegedly, Neil Gaiman offered to pay her rent. He was giving her hush money. And then also he apparently made her sign an NDA not to talk about it, which is absolutely crazy as well. This is the background situation that led to all this. Now, this came out on Reddit, and we reported on it on July 11th. And then right after that, they started banning all topics, conversations about this. So the minute this actually got reported, because Reddit was really the only place that people were talking about this and actually giving information and details based on Neil Gaiman's fans and what they'd seen. It is pretty much silence everywhere else from the mainstream media. And the reason is because this guy's too big to fail. He's got Netflix shows, Amazon Prime shows. He was held up as like the rock star writer of this last generation. And his books have a bunch of degeneracy in it too. He's got weird, creepy sexual stuff in it that show that he's got some skeletons for sure. From what I've seen, you just don't come up with that kind of stuff in your writing unless you're thinking about that kind of stuff, right? And so the media is silent on it intentionally, and now Reddit is censoring people, which we're going to get into in just a moment after this. And I guarantee it's because we reported these facts here based on what we saw on Reddit as well. So here's what happened. This came from the Vox Populi blog, which we also appreciate and love. That's a great blog. Do not talk about Neil Gaiman, he says, especially not anywhere that is devoted to talking about him. The Reddit community devoted to discussing Neil Gaiman banned all discussion of his personal life. The only now discussion of his work will be permitted. Now, this was not the standing topic on the blog. They actually created a thread specifically for this, and they said people are allowed to talk there. We don't want you anywhere else. So they cordoned it off, but in that way things didn't get off topic. I understand that. And that's how we found the information to begin with. And again, I just think they don't want it being reported or got out. I think Neil Gaiman probably went to the Reddit moderators and urged them to not allow it, or maybe it was one of his representatives did. We can only speculate. But this is what they said right here. I want to take some opportunity to provide updates regarding the direction of our community. After carefully considering all the feedback I received, I've decided to focus the sub from Neil and his personal life to solely his work. Again, this only came out once we reported on the 14 women the other day. So this is the reason for this happening for sure. This decision was not made lightly, and I spent considerable time pondering this matter. Of course you did. Consequently, you may have noticed some changes, such as the removal of Neil's face as the sub's avatar. So they're really trying to bury this so hard. The retirement of the good Gaiman flair and some adjustments to the rules. I've also archived older posts and updated AutoMod. This means the response thread will now be closed. And so this is the thread that we were talking about, the allegation situation to begin with. It's important to note that this change is not intended to discourage discussions about Neil's life. Yes, it is. Shut up. Why did they lie? We're going to ban discussions about Neil's life. This is not intended to discourage. Right, sure. SJWs, they drive me crazy. Or significance of biographical context in his work. Instead, it also aims to foster meaningful analysis and critique of his work within those contexts, along with other forms of literary criticism. I wonder if I make a post about his creepy book, How to Pick Up Girls at Parties, and and tie it to the bathtub. I'll probably get banned immediately. I'm already shadow banned on Reddit, so nobody can read any of my posts I ever make there. Great platform. Great. Yeah. In arriving at this decision, I sought guidance from Reddit's crisis management team and consulted with moderators from other subs focused on notable individuals. I also reviewed information from the assault support sites, as well as reports and papers from educational institutions and law firms. Additionally, I reflected on my own experiences with grooming. Oh my gosh, this person was groomed? And they're all. Here's the thing about the woke DEI people in that are embedded in all this stuff. And Neil Gaiman's a big part of this too. You got to understand, like they're all victims of some kind of abuse and grooming and things like that, and then they perpetuate it onto the next generations. This is really what happens here, and you see it. Like you're not even allowed in these communities unless you're some part of some sexual deviancy cult at this point. It's such a sick community, science fiction and comics. It really is. That's why we're working so hard to change things. And was considered this matter from a perspective of being a partner, a parent, a child, and a sibling. It's essential to approach the situation with integrity and empathy for all parties involved. I don't think, you really want to give empathy and... why are these people like this? Well, it's all because of... And this just goes to show, it's all about who it is. It's not about what was done. It's not about what's happening. An NDA by itself is just like such a red flag. But they just don't want it reported on. That's really what they want. Moving forward, the sub will enforce a zero tolerance policy for defamation, including victim blaming and baseless accusations. Here we go. So not allowed to say anything about it. Even his biggest fans here believe he's probably guilty as charged, according to Vox's analysis. And there's eventually more coming out, but they don't want him to be canceled, so they're going to pretend his personal life has no connection to his dark fantasies he expresses through his violent and sexually deviant work. Yes, that's exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. It would appear that they've done this in order to justify eliminating the very detailed summaries of the accusations, as well as the exposures of Gaiman's inadequate and dishonest responses to those accusations that were being posted on the forum about him. The media is doing a full court press to try to protect Gaiman. This sum total of what precisely appears in his Wikipedia page about the matter: accusation of sexual assault. Tortoise Media reported he was accused by 2 women. Gaiman has denied both. And that's all they say. It's rather amusing. There's far more critical content about Vox on Wikipedia than there is Gaiman. which is absolutely true. And you know exactly what it is. That's what happens with the SJWs. It's about who it is. It's not about what was done. This is par for the course right here. So you can't talk about this anymore, my friends, but the internet is forever. We have it on Fandom Pulse for you. I'll put this link in the description below so you can look at the detailed accusations yourself. And make sure to please check out my books, The Stars Entwined in its trilogy. I appreciate you for reading. Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. We'll be back soon.